What is up, good people? Spot of Nerd here with day number 18. If you can believe it or not, 18 days straight of live content from yours truly, Spot of Nerd. And holy shit, is it a lot. I did not realize this. To credit where it's due, to those that are like super famous and shit or whatever, or obviously have a pretty good following, this is this is a full-time job. It really, really is. And again, I don't mean this in a negative way, but like I'm not really anything big or remotely a blip in the wind. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to do, and credit where it's due. For those of you that can do it, I dip my hat. But yeah, day number 18. Normally today is video game day, but I've been getting a lot of messages around a specific, well, I guess it kind of is almost it's a video game almost. Having some light difficulties apparently. I apologize. Fucking whatever. So yeah, people have been kind of hitting me up about this character that is making the rounds on the socials, obviously with artificial intelligence. Its original purpose was designed to teach kids and youth about online extremism, and you can imagine the amount of eye roll that exists there. And just so we're on the same page, this is revolving around, of course, the UK government, the UK itself, the British people, and bluntly, the fact that our country is basically destroying itself from within. Whether it's completely lost yet, I don't know, but it is definitely heading down a road that is scary in relation to we are truly losing. I'm a British citizen currently, and I have great pride and proud to be that. But man, would I ever go back? Not a chance in hell. I'm very glad I'm working towards my US citizenship right now, but the people of England right now, I pray for them every day because, man, unless they start changing things around, and I do not mean that in a violent sense, I don't mean that in a hateful or disrespectful sense. I simply mean you need to take your country back. And you might be asking yourself, well, why don't you do it? Why aren't you doing it? Well, actually, I am, if you think about it, because this right here is the way I'm fighting back. And I hope more people do it because, again, one or two people, they can't. But if millions of you spoke out, that's when real change happens. So we're gonna play that video because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to simply provide you with the usual suspects that it is not of my creation. It is simply something that is online that anybody can discover. And the viewpoints that are expressed in the video are not my own. I simply appreciate the effort that somebody made to do that. All right, so let's play the video first, and then we'll get into a little bit of what it is, what it's all about, because I think that'll make a little bit more sense. But I'm pretty sure the video itself will basically be self-explanatory, like I said. So let me go ahead. This is just my Instagram page, and this is the video. Enjoy.
I'm Amelia. I'm English, and I love England.
I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub.
I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter.
I like pork sausage and dogs and fashion.
Haram! Haram!
But I don't like that. Brits are famously polite, but it mustn't mean we're willing to commit cultural suicide.
Our institutions, the Church of England, the BBC, are a bunch of queers and nonces.
How the bloody hell did we go from Churchill to you git? Sadiq Khan, the mayor? This is London, mate, not Afghanistan. Or Star Wars.
I'm getting that.
Our government won't even protect our schoolgirls from grooming gangs. Sod off, packy wankers!
The police won't help. They're too busy confiscating garden tools and suppressing free speech.
That's right, miss. What have I done, officer? You've tweeted rudely, and you're under arrest.
Curry is fine, but we have several recipes already. We don't need 2 million Indians here to make it for us. There are 50 Islamic nations in the world. Muslims don't need to be on our island. They want to conquer it. The government says it must be this way. That doesn't make it right, does it, Robin Hood? These dragons that threaten our England won't go away unless brave knights rise up to slay them. Or did all the British bloodlines with any bollocks get killed off in World Wars I and II? Englishmen! It's your country, and it's being taken from you. Chav, posh? Doesn't matter. We're already all in this together. I don't want this to be the future of the women of England, and I'm sure the women of Iran and Afghanistan didn't want it either. Your ancestors beat the Spanish Armada, Napoleon, and the Nazis. Surely you can handle welfare tourists. History will record what you do or don't do. Get cracking, lads. Love, Amelia.
So there it
Hi,
is.
I'm Amelia.
You gotta love it.
I'm English, and I love England.
Yes, we love it too. We love you.
I like having fish.
So yeah, there it is. She went over a lot, and to be clear, obviously that is AI. It is not the official stuff, I guess. We'll go over that in just a second. But I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of that? Again, it is AI. It has been created through artificial intelligence. I support the hell out of it. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, well, what do you support about it? Because this is the best part about doing these live sessions about like, oh shit, he said something he supported that could be offensive and blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of content in there. So was it support for the AI? Was it support for my country? Was it support for Harry Potter? There's about 1,000 things in that video that I could be supportive of. And you'll notice I didn't say that I was supportive of everything. So good luck trying to pinpoint anything in relation to me and something being offensive to that, because I'm simply expressing a video that came across my social media that I found to be quite intriguing. And I'm pretty sure you can imagine why. So it is very important though, and jokes aside, this is where we can get a little bit more serious. It is crucial on the importance, because just look at the media, look at the news, look at everything that has been going on in the UK. And I'm sure I could go down 1,000 different paths and different roads. But at the end of it, what it ultimately comes down to is the British people are being eradicated right before their very own eyes, and there hasn't even been a single shot fired. You have more people, specifically innocent young women, being raped and murdered by illegal immigration than any time in its history before. You have, what is it? I think from a population standpoint, and I could be very wrong, these are just estimates that I've seen on multiple different data points. Something like 1 in 10 people in the UK is actually from the UK. To be clear, not saying that's a bad thing. Multiculturalism, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm simply saying, why is it not okay then to be to be proud to be British? I'm extremely proud to be British. But you notice when you hear on the news right now, there's somewhere around 12 to 15,000 people being arrested annually for tweets and insert XYZ social media platform. And yet you find out that rapists, murderers, etc. hardly get a slap on the wrist. Just look it up. I don't need to do it for you. There are a multitude of examples that are out there. So the obvious question is then, when is enough going to be enough? It's a common theme here on this channel. It's a common theme that I say every time, pretty much on these live channels. When is enough going to be enough before somebody or somebody's plural finally stand up and say, nope, that's enough? You tell me. Rhetorical. So diving a little bit further into it, I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a spiel as to what this is really all about, because it'll make a little bit more sense here. So that video, here it is. It apparently comes from Pathways, which is a novel. So Pathways is an educational visual novel and learning experience created by the UK media company Shout Out UK with funding from the UK government's Prevent program run by the Home Office. Basically, it's run by the UK government, put simply. The game is meant to teach the youth about the dangers of radicalization and extremism, Minnesota, in both real life and online. This is done by putting players in the role of a character named Charlie who must navigate 6 different scenarios relating to extremism. Yes, I know my eyes are literally like clocks. In the second scenario, the player is introduced to the character Amelia, a staunch anti-immigration protester depicted as a goth girl. Isn't that discrimination as is? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just simply curiosity. I'm not saying goth people are bad or good. I'm just like, isn't that kind of like already biased just by calling her a goth girl? How do you know she's goth? Did you ask her? Just throwing it out there. I don't know. That's just me. Depicted as a goth girl with purple hair. Again, why are we describing this? Why can't they just call her Amelia? A pink dress and a choker. Like again, we're saying the same thing. I'm sure you've heard this comment around lately about like we actually left, right, up, down, middle. We're saying the same thing, but one of us is using logic, the other is using feeling. I mean, just reading that alone there kind of is basically you'd almost imagine as if I was on the other side. But to me, why couldn't they just say a character named Amelia? And again, this is like I'm not just saying that's from this article. This is in the actual game itself. They're describing it as this. So you're kind of just going round in circles at this point. Anyway, while players are not meant to take Amelia's side, one side of the internet has recently decided to turn her into a controversial waifu. I forgot what the fuck a waifu is. How Amelia is using memes. Amelia garnered widespread attention on sites like X, Twitter, and subreddits. January, when people began complaining about the way that Pathways purportedly, I forgot how to say that. I need to go back to school. Portrays teens who question immigration policies as extremists. However, rather than denouncing Amelia's rhetoric as Pathways intended, the far-right social media users and trolls have banded together to turn Amelia into a symbol for anti-immigration in the UK. No. Let's be very clear. We're not extremists or far-right and etc. No, we're just human beings telling you that, guess what? This isn't okay when all these people that are coming in are, number one, illegal, basically using up all the free shit. And then number two, they're illegal. Just to make that clear, they're illegal. Illegal. So just throwing that out there. Under one Reddit post, a user, wait, are you telling me they made the cute goth e-girl the racist? Do they understand how the internet works? Suggesting that the internet loves goth girls too much to hate Amelia. I mean, again, there's people are making memes and photos, and I dig it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this picture alone right here, fucking dope. I would never. I want to be very clear. I would never do this. That's almost tattoo worthy right there. It's fucking awesome, if you ask me. I'm just simply saying the artwork is awesome, not the messaging, just to point it out. Obviously, I am very pro getting rid of illegal immigrants. Just to be clear, going down that road can be very tiptoey, but just to be very clear, love the artwork, not necessarily in agreement with the terminology, shall we say, but you can gather where I'm going with that. So again, great memes, love the sitch. I guess it's just basically random ass shit. So I'd love to know your 2 cents on it. I really would. It's one of those things like, has the UK government metaphorically shot themselves in the foot? Absolutely. And I fucking love it because, again, we are saying the same thing, except you're basically putting out to the public to try and help when you're actually helping us. It's fucking hysterical. And one last other point before I let you guys go. Just as an example, I was looking this up. So I guess The Apprentice, which we all know Trump is basically that's where we all got to know President Trump for who he was and how he started and blah 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 blah, his television series, yada yada yada. It's how it all began. So apparently in the UK, I guess there's a UK version. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't watch the show, so I don't really know the specifics. I'm assuming this was the UK version. If it's not, it's just The Apprentice current season. The guy who won it, this guy was, what is his name? I forgot what his name was. I knew it's in this article. Oh yeah, it's basically this Levi Hodgetts Haig. So obviously, now the UK government is getting involved because, of course, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was, he said some really mean things online. He was mean. Now, if you look at what he did say, sure, I understand some of it, as you can see the examples right there on the screen, not putting you in the best light, making him a winner of a broadcast television series. Yeah, I could see where they were kind of like, shit, we probably maybe should have looked at this. But 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and obviously, again, the one thing that in common with all of this is, of course, if you're not familiar with Tommy Robinson, he basically is numero uno in the UK government's most wanted list in relation to speaking his mind against immigration and all this other stuff, aka similar viewpoints to myself and bazillion of other people out in the world. So is it really what he's saying on Twitter, or is it simply because he essentially has the following of other people that have now spent time in jail because they posted online? I will let you decide that. And it just, to finish this episode out, we'll just keep it nice and brief tonight. This is where the line needs to be drawn. I want to be very clear again. I'm not promoting violence, hate, disrespect. I am promoting the fact, though, there does come a point of no return. I honestly do believe the UK may have already hit that point. I don't really know how you describe it or what that looks like in full. It would take hours, weeks, data, yada, yada, yada. But can they turn this around to bring back the British people for what they really are? Yes, that I wholeheartedly believe, and I truly hope that it does become a reality. It's gonna take way more effort, way more talk, way more protesting peacefully, although you really can't do that in the UK, than what's going on right now. Because if you continue down the road that it is, if the UK people themselves do not do anything from now till the end of time, that country will be lost easily in the next 5 to 10 years. Easily. You will not see that country exist. It will simply be changed to where you can no longer recognize the England for what it was. And I mentioned yesterday, if you watched or listened to yesterday's stream, about how I'm just recently rewatched the Masters of the Air series that was on Apple TV. Describes the American Air Force that helped out the British during World War II. And again, to Amelia's point on that video, we literally stopped Hitler's war machine by ourselves during the Battle of Britain in World War II. And today, people are getting offended over a Twitter post. I have no ill will, no shame, no scare, no fear saying this. What the fuck, guys? What the actual fuck? Pull up your pants, put your big boy pants on, and do something. Because this is shameful. And I'm pretty sure you can understand where shameful comes in. Change your shit now, or it will be lost forever. And the only people you can blame are the ones staring right back at you in the mirror. It's not rocket science. Thankfully, you look at the US right now, Minnesota, blah, 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 as horrible as it is, we at least have a leader in office that is willing to make the changes so that it doesn't happen like that. The British people need somebody similar, and I hope and I pray that maybe one day many of you will join hands and make sure that it stops. I really, really do, because I'm not going to lie to you. it would scare the hell out of me. If I were to ever go back to England right now, the last time I went was 2019, 2020, just before COVID. I had a great time. 2 weeks, best 2 weeks of my life, but scared. I don't know if stepping off that plane right now, I'm not saying I'm anything special. I don't know if I'd be taken away in cuffs or sent away to jail. And if that's the facts, then I'll tell you what, I'm saying right here, right now on live, I claim asylum here in the America. I claim asylum in the United States because that's how much it kind of creeps in on me. And I'm not afraid to share that out loud. It really does scare the shit out of me because God forbid I have a different opinion. God forbid I use a human right to just live freely the way I want. I'm not posting anything hateful, disrespectful, violence-wise. I'm simply voicing a different opinion. We used to be able to do that. And I'm praying to God one day we can get back to doing it again. But that's for another time and likely another day. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I super duper in a pooper appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow where we are officially, I promise, we are officially going to talk about 28 years later, the Bone Temple. And there is one thing that I'm going to spoil for you guys that I am so fucking excited for because we finally got 28 years, 30 years later, since 28 days later, it's finally happening. And I'm going to tell you guys tomorrow. Later, y'all.